All right. I've got a long one and a really important one that no one will tell you about. No one will talk about what we're going to talk about today. None of the Twitter accounts, none of the YouTubers, none of the Facebook guys. No influencers will tell you this except for a few. And it's about the topic of the fact that we influencers create liquidity, not alpha. So the reason this course is insightful for you is because I'm going to tell you the things that these guys are not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the industry secrets, how this entire scam that is crypto works, and I'm going to help you avoid the mistakes that even the influencers make. Most of these influencers still don't understand most of the things that I'm telling you in this course. They actually are not good enough investors to actually understand and be able to teach what I'm going to teach you. But what all of these influencers do know, but they do not tell you, is that their job is to create liquidity, not alpha. Okay? Outside of a few exceptions, pretty much every crypto Twitter account, crypto YouTube account, their sole basically existence is just buying coins, pumping their bags, and selling on you guys. Okay? You cannot succeed long term listening to signals or calls or, like telling you to buy things from Twitter accounts and YouTube videos. You can't succeed long term, and I'm going to tell you why that is. So again, I always reference this bird shitting hierarchy, maybe not as much in this course, but on my YouTube channel. This alpha hierarchy applies too. So at the top of the hierarchy, the first person to make money on something is the original source. It's the original researcher, the insider. It's the first person top of the food chain. So maybe you find out, for example, that a big update is coming out for a coin or a big exchange listing, right? So at the top of the food chain, you're the first guy, you're at the top, right? You're the earliest. Next up, this guy, he tells his friends. So this guy buys, and then he tells his friends, and then they buy in these high-level crypto communities. Next is the paid groups. So one of the guys in the high-level community probably runs a paid group, so then he shares the information that he gets with this group, with the paid group. And then the paid group end up getting in, and then the influencers all end up telling social media. And if you're following social media, you're buying after the paid groups, after the high-level chats that you can't get access to unless you're a professional. And then you're buying after the actual original source of information. Okay? And generally speaking, if you are buying something because you found it on social media, it got shilled to you on social media, you're buying too late, and you might make some short-term gains, but in the long term, you're not going to be a profitable investor. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why that is. So your goal with the alpha hierarchy is to climb as high as possible. So for example, when I got Toshi at a $2.5 million market cap, I know I keep referencing this coin. You can see every video it's at a totally different price. One video it was 12 million, now it's 80, now it's 50. It's probably going to be maybe 30 or 20 soon. So I keep referencing Toshi because what I want to say is that with this coin, I bought it at a $2.5 million market cap, and I bought it at that price because I had came up with my own thesis. Right? I saw I had some insider connections in high-level chats that you can't join, some friends. They were telling me about Toshi, but then I built my own thesis on it. So I was as early as you can get because I was the insider original researcher. I came up with the thesis that everyone understands today, first person. The Coinbase thing, I obviously other people had said components of my thesis, but the extent to which I had analyzed this coin, I was the first guy, right? That's why I was so early. That's why the price was so low. I was the first guy to think of it. And then I told, obviously, my mastermind, and I actually I posted it on Twitter too, but I told my mastermind, I told my high-level friends and the mastermind at the same time, and we got in, and then I tweeted it all the time on social media because I wanted to spread the word of Toshi. I wanted to make sure that Toshi was the number one meme coin on Base. I wanted it to beat Mochi, its competitor. So I tweeted it all the time. And people on Twitter who rely on free information, if they weren't careful, I put a thread out at this level, you're now at a loss, even though it's up 30x from my entry and the mastermind's entry. If you're not careful, you buy up here. Because if you're not going to join my mastermind, then I'm going to shill you this coin at the top because I want to generate exit liquidity for my mastermind. I want to make sure this coin pumps as hard as possible. Now, I'm not that big of an account that the whole pump was due to me, but I would like to think that the pump went further because I was spreading the thesis, I was spreading what I believed was the truth for Toshi, which helped the price go up. And people talk, everyone was talking about me, everyone was talking about Toshi. I had all these guys messaging me like, bro, like everyone's talking about Toshi now. Yeah, no shit, I've been telling people, and people are now understanding. So if you are, and this relates back to influencers create liquidity, not alpha. When I tweet about it at the end of the cycle, after I've bought, my mastermind's bought, my friends have bought, you're getting in maybe, making some money, but you're getting in at the end when the scraps are there. You're only collecting the scraps, and you're hoping that you can shit on someone else who buys it after you on social media, right? So you need someone to buy after you to profit, right? That's why this guy wins, because he's the earliest. If you bought because a tweet or a YouTube vid, you're likely too late or buying near the end. And I want to show you an example of an example of this, right? And a coordinated shill by Twitter influencers on a coin to sort of showcase what I mean, right? So I won't disclose who this is, because obviously I would never do that. But basically, it was a friend of mine, and he basically said, we, as in like a bunch of Twitter influencers, are bidding this coin, right? Track. And sitting at 40 million market cap, he gave me the thesis, and he basically said that coordinated shill soon. So he basically said all his friends on Twitter are all going to start tweeting about this coin soon, right? Now, here's one of the accounts tweeting about it, right? November 16, this was like, I don't know, mid-November, it was before this, right? So now I have a tweet start coming in. And I sent this tweet to this guy, and I said, this guy a part of your shill network? Seen a bunch of tweets about Track today. And he said, yeah, friend of mine. Told you, Zuma Oracle also posting. Yeah, coordinated shill. It's good seeing behind the veil, right? So this guy, this friend, he told me about Track here, and he said, we're buying it. You can see it's pumping because obviously they're trying to accumulate a position. And then they all start tweeting about it. My friend didn't, but these guys started tweeting about it. And you can see it's just pumped. Now, they started tweeting about it right here. So right at this point, you can see the date, November 16. This is November 15, so it was actually here. You can see that it was at that local top. Now, obviously, price has gone up after because they've kept shilling it, and the ordinal narrative is taken off. But you can see that there's a hierarchy here, right? The original person who built the thesis bought here. The small chat groups bought here. The paid groups bought here. And then the Twitter guys got in up here, right? So you can see the hierarchy. The amount of money you make will vary based on how early you are in finding that coin. And if you're just going to rely on free content online, you're getting the worst entry and make the least amount of profit. You come to crypto to make tons of money. Why don't you try to level up in the hierarchy? Why do you just exist at the bottom of the totem pole getting shat on by everyone else? And of course, you can see it was at at the bottom 2.5 and it went up to, $6 right now. You doubled your money. But if you were higher on the hierarchy, you bought it at 50 cents and it's now $5, you're up 10x. The difference between the hierarchy here was doubling your money or 10xing your money. So you either turned 1,000 into 2,000 or 1,000 into 10,000, And that's why it's so important to climb the hierarchy, because if you don't, you're just going to be entering near the end, right? And this is just an example. Insider trading, I guess. I guess it's sort of, I don't know if it's illegal, but it's sort of like insider trading. Now, he did give a good thesis, and maybe this coin does perform well, but what this guy will never tell you is, I actually bought this at a way lower price, and I'm going to probably dump it on you whenever I feel like it. And I'm not going to tell you when I sell, so you have to determine when to sell yourself, all right? The lesson here is, this is an example of where listening to a Twitter influencer did make you money. If you bought after he said buy, you actually are in a profit. But in terms of the hierarchy, you are still at the bottom. You made the least amount of money. And for every time you copy a Twitter post, a coin that they say to buy, and make profit, there's actually 10 times you copy and lose money. Because the most common outcome is you copy and you lose money. And this is why I've been, I was copying people on Twitter for my first 3 years in the game. And I never really made money copying people, right? It was only the insider information, or sometimes I copied and I made money, but a lot of the time I'd copy and I lost money. For example, Alex Kruger was talking about this coin DEXTF like years ago, And I researched it, I built a thesis, but I bought it because he really liked it, and then it just went down 99%. And I was like, fuck, like, you know, this guy might have bought, this guy probably got the pre-sale, he's probably up 100x, I'm buying it now. I didn't realize. He was saying how good it was, but, you know, just because he thinks it's good doesn't mean that I should buy now. He's probably entered from way lower. So the biggest issue as well with copying people is this. Number one, they won't tell you where they exit, which is the most important part to making money, right? They tell you where to buy, but that doesn't matter. It's about selling, right? The coins they have the most conviction on will perform the worst. So by the time you see them really confident on something on Twitter, it's likely that it's reaching the peak of its cycle, right? The coins that everyone is super confident on Twitter are the coins that perform the worst. And I think I talked about this earlier in the course. I talk about how you can't just copy people from Twitter. How conviction on your social media feed is a sort of is a thing that you should counter trade, right? And you know, there's always that flavor of the month coin. I think I talk about this flavor of the month. One month it was Unibot, it was pumping, and then people forget about it. Next month it's something else, and then it's something else, and then, you know, coins have a short shelf life of outperformance. That's actually a perfect quote to describe this. Coins have a short shelf life of outperformance. Right? Each coin has about 30 to 60 days where it can outperform the market, but then it ends up just going back to standard performance. And you have 30 to 60 days, it's like a ticking time bomb. All right, this coin's outperforming, you got 30 days to pump, and then everyone's bought and you've ran out of buyers. Now, you have exceptions to this, like, for example, Casper, which pretty much has been fucking pumping this whole bull run. That's not Casper. But anyway, Casper's been pumping the whole bull run and the whole bear market, right? That's an exception. But most coins, you know, let's look at Unibot. Right, let's go to the daily. You can see that this coin in June, super, super hot, all the way till August, so 2 months, right? It went from $10 to $200, 20x. And now it's dead. And everyone was shilling you this coin, telling you how great it was up here. So you lost money. Now, and we'll get into why this sort of happened later, but that's pretty much what happens, okay? Coins have a short shelf life of outperformance. Also, most bull posts, a bull post is like when someone's saying, oh, this coin's amazing, you have to buy it, like the one I showed you before. Most bull posts are clout farming after a coin has gone up, where they aren't saying buy now, but they express a massively bullish tone on the coin. So I know this one firsthand, and you guys won't know this. You guys won't understand this because you're not influencers. But basically, when people tweet about coins, they tweet about it because they want to collect clout. They want to get a lot of engagement. They want to show people that they make money. They want to, you know, get validation from other people. They want to show that they're the man, right? They make money. Right? And I'm no perfect person. I've done this as well. I do this all the time, actually. Every time I have a win, I fucking flex it. Because I am in the business of building a personal brand and having people pay me money to join my groups so I can help them make money. My incentive alignment is to flex on you when I make money so that you feel like shit because you didn't make as much money as me and my members, so that you become a member and pay me money so I can make you rich. So that you bring your friends on, and it's just this big fucking we all get rich together, kumbaya. It's the same for these guys. Crypto Hass, he's probably got a paid group. Johnny Crypto God, same thing. He's probably just building a big brand, right? So for example, right, this guy bought this coin when it was like much, much lower. I'm not saying that this guy, I'm not saying that this guy's a bad investor. I'm not saying that he bought it now. But what I am saying is that he is bull tweeting about a coin when it's at its all-time high after it's gone up 20x, and people are going to listen to him and FOMO buy because he said it's one of the sexiest charts in the entire crypto market. Well, it's funny, one of the sexiest charts went down 30% after he tweeted about it. Isn't that funny? And this guy, you only need one play to make it in life, right? These guys have made lots of money because they bought it much lower, and they are flexing on you on Twitter with high conviction tweets because conviction increases as the price goes up. If you're long-term investing, you can never buy a coin when it's being bull tweeted like this, because you are buying during greed, right? And remember what we talked about in one of the other videos? If you're a long-term investor, you have to buy during fear and sell during greed, right? Like this. I think I did a drawing over here, right?